Today's episode is brought to you by Microsoft Dragon Copilot. Learn how Dragon Copilot can transform the way you work. Stick around after the episode or visit aka.ms/knock-knock-hi. That's aka.ms/knock-knock-hi.
Knock, knock. Hi.
Hey everybody, welcome to Knock Knock Hi with the Glaucomfleckens. I am Dr. Glaucomflecken, also known as Will Flannery.
I'm Lady Glaucomflecken, also known as Kristin Flannery.
Welcome to an episode of Glauc Talk. And Kristin, you'll be excited to know that I was going through the comments on, we post all these as videos on our YouTube channel at Glaucomfleckens.
Yes.
And the most recent one that was published, of us talking together.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the comments and people totally understand your hatred of the pull-up requirement.
Oh, yeah, in
on
school.
The presidential fitness test.
Right. Yeah, good.
And
See,
so,
I'm not the only one.
And I have a comment here from at Senator Cretoville, sorry if I get that wrong, said, "Hi, Lady Glaucomflecken. I'm a bit younger than you by 5 to 10 years. But when I was in school, girls had to do the bent arm hang instead of pull-ups. Do you remember?
I don't know. Keep reading.
Okay. You basically start with your chin above the bar by standing on a chair, then your time to see how long you can hold it.
Oh.
Girls have way less upper body strength than boys growing up, and pull-ups are much more difficult for them. I recall being so at it, but I'm sure I couldn't do any pull-ups either."
I might have done that.
That makes sense.
The one that is like seared into my memory as a lifelong scar is I had to try to do a pull-up. But yeah, maybe later on we got to do those.
Honestly, like we're talking elementary school kids here.
Yeah.
And even the boys couldn't do it. I remember...
The boys could do it better.
Okay, I remember there was maybe one kid in the class, and we all made a big deal who could do a pull-up.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do a pull-up.
I feel like there were a few boys that could do it in our rural farming
I like
community.
That, though. Just hold it right there. Right. This who'd been baling hay and lifting goats.
Who knows? Yes.
Moving cows.
Yeah, lifting cows. That's exactly what happened.
I know exactly what it's like on a farm. So anyway, that's people. Here's another comment. Let's see. At Silvertip185. In junior high, I felt so bad I could not do even one pull-up. I swore I would next time. I trained for a year
oh my goodness.
for the next president's physical fitness test. The next year, they canceled the test and never did it again. All my life, that pull-up from the test haunted me. At 40, I started going to the gym and worked out until I got up to 18 pull-ups.
Wow.
Pretty good. I cannot think of a single thing in ordinary life I need to be able to do a pull-up.
That's
just
true.
That damn test in the back of my head.
Why do we do pull-ups?
It's just a...
When are you ever going to need that?
Well, I mean...
When you're, I don't know, hanging from a cliff to save your life?
Exactly.
Like, that's about the only thing.
What if, I mean, you could make... I guess most, strength exercises, you could see how they can be applicable to your normal life. Like, a chest press or bench press, your squats,
Mm-hmm.
like all these things, RDLs, like you're using, you're lifting. As I don't know, but pull up, I agree. That may be one of the least useful like maneuvers.
See, you're even doing it this way. That was like
you could do it either way. There's different
isn't this
grips.
way harder?
Overhand. Yeah, overhand's harder.
Yeah.
Neutral is probably probably
like underhand.
Underhand is probably the easiest because you get to use more
bicep
of your bicep.
Yeah. So what is it? Overhand is lats.
Well, it's a multiple things.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I know it's.
You said that so confidently.
Well, I know when I do an underhand, I can feel I'm using more of my bicep doing that. This is more forearm.
Well, I feel like it's supposed to be your back.
I don't know. Anyway, we are not. We are way outside our wheelhouse in terms of the.
We are. We don't know what we're talking about.
This podcast. All right, here. Let's something slightly serious, but anyway. So we've talked a lot over the past year, and this is something we're working on. Our Glauc and Flecken team is like ethical content creation
Mhm.
and being ethical on social media as a medical professional.
Yeah.
In light of and I'm not going to get into the recent shooting of Charlie Kirk. Like we're not going to talk about that. But what I do want to say is that if I have one tip for medical professionals on social media, whether you have a platform or not, whether you are a content creator or not, when something like this happens, take a beat.
Mhm.
Just hang on a second. All
Yeah.
right. Just before you make a public comment about something,
Right.
in whatever way you want to do it, just hang on.
Yeah. Give
There's
it some time. Let it simmer.
I feel like as someone with a large platform, I know what it feels like when you feel like you have to respond to everything.
Mhm.
Either people ask or like want you to say something, or regardless of what it is and whether or not it's even like it makes sense with the content that you create.
Right.
There's this like feeling like, oh, if I don't say something, people are gonna, you know,
Get mad.
get mad at me, or they expect things of me, or if I don't post. And this is just for like posting in general. If I don't, I haven't made a skit in a week.
Yeah, you get
If I don't put a skit out, everyone's gonna forget
they'll
I
have
exist.
pitchforks and they will come for
Absolutely.
you.
Everyone's gonna be wondering. They're gonna think I'm dead, which is a reasonable thing for
Well.
me. But the point is like you feel like people's lives revolve around your content, which is a kind of a narcissistic way to think
And
about it.
that's
But
what I'm here for.
right. So anyway, that is my my message to everyone listening, is because we're all on social media in one way or another. Some of us post a lot, some of us don't. But just when really terrible things happen in the news, it's okay to just like take 24 hours. Like you don't like gather your thoughts,
Yeah.
think about things, look and see what's happening on social media, and wait until you get facts and just you don't have to post immediately. I think that's when you get in trouble.
Right.
You really can get yourself into a lot of trouble. And this story has obviously it's a crazy story, and and I've been seeing a lot of people, especially in healthcare and educators, teachers, who are getting fired
Yeah.
for how they reacted to it. And so,
Right.
don't get fired. Don't get fired from your job. And we could go back and forth all day and talk about freedom of speech. And right now there's like this huge debate happening, like what are the limits of freedom of speech, and what should be the repercussions of saying something that other people disagree with, or that's inflammatory or perceived as inciting violence.
Right.
And that's one thing, but man, like you can make the argument that saying something is free speech, but if your employer gets a hold of it and they're getting pressured to fire your ass, like it might happen.
Well, I think people toss free speech around as just this very broad term, but it is not. It is a specific thing, which is that you can express your opinions without your government censoring you.
Right.
So that is not, there's a difference between free speech and hate speech. And free speech is just about your government censoring you.
That's true.
There's a bazillion other ways that other people can provide you feedback about your speech and what you're saying.
Did you just bang into your? Was that a? Okay.
Yeah, I talk with my hands. I hit things sometimes.
You hit the water bottle. It goes like a ding. Like it was like you had a great thought. Ding. Yeah, I think we're talking freedom of speech versus freedom of consequences.
Exactly. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequences.
So anyway,
But political violence is never okay.
Well,
in a democracy, that is not what we do. That is not what we're about. It should go without saying, but it seems like it needs to be said these days. Like, political violence is not the way that we solve these problems.
I've been comparing this whole thing to the United Healthcare CEO
Yeah.
shooting, and I see a lot of the same things,
Mhm.
but not quite to. It's interesting, obviously a very like public, not as public of an execution of an
Right.
assassination, but still it happened, on the street.
Right.
Um, and the you still saw a lot of like the very unsympathetic types of
Mhm.
posts from people. Um, but the amount of fighting between right and left on this particular one is so much more. I'm seeing so much more
Yeah, because I think that
divisiveness.
everyone sort of doesn't like healthcare insurance,
Like, yeah, at some
health
point,
insurance,
right,
but
that transcends party lines is like
yeah,
how health insurance affects people. So anyway,
right.
we don't wanna spend a whole lot of time on it. So really the point is here, just you have to be careful. Like, you have
Yeah.
it's okay to just take a moment and gather your thoughts. I do this, whenever before I post things, I very rarely will, like, at this point, because I've been doing this for years, think, "Oh, I've gotta get something out right away, immediately." No, I've learned, like, I'll just wait. I'll just wait till I have the time. I don't wanna rush stuff like that
Right.
when you're, like, responding to some event that happened.
Mhm.
Like, you'll put out better content too if you just take your time with it.
Yeah.
And whether it's 1 or 2 days later, yeah, news moves fast, but I don't think it's worth putting out something that's either gonna get misconstrued or interpreted a certain way or get you fired or something. Just take your time with it. So
Right.
anyway.
Also social media is public.
Well,
Just keep that
yeah.
in mind. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like people forget. It's not your group chat. It is
yeah,
publicly available information.
yeah.
How do you feel about when people expect you to comment on something going on in the news or
Yeah,
what have you? Because there are a lot of times that we hear from people like, "Aren't you gonna say something about?"
I think there are reasonable expectations, that someone might have of a creator to like, "Oh, I really thought you would say something about this."
Mhm.
Like, I felt that way about the United Healthcare, the CEO shooting.
Mhm.
Like, as someone who is
Yeah.
a opponent of United Healthcare who has talked negatively about them in dozens of videos, like, I felt like, "Okay, I do need to say something here."
Yeah.
But
Because it is
that's
relevant to what you
right,
do and what your expertise is in.
right. Um, and so but I feel like that doesn't extend to every single thing that happens in the news.
Yeah.
Every hot button issue, not every creator has to just because you have a public platform, a large platform, doesn't mean you have to have an opinion on everything, especially if it's not something you have a lot of expertise with. And
Yeah.
that's when you can really get yourself into trouble if you try to speak on something uh extemporaneously or otherwise, on something that you're kind of a novice when it comes to that thing. And so, I also don't like it. I don't like when myself or when other creators like get almost like bullied into saying
Mhm.
something
Right.
about something, right?
Yeah. It's as if people think that anyone who has a platform has an ethical duty to use their platform to speak out about every issue.
Yeah, yeah. And I honestly don't. I wouldn't consider that. Absolutely, and I wouldn't consider that like an ethical boundary. Like I think if you don't say something about a hot button issue, that doesn't mean you're being unethical. I think
Yeah.
that really doesn't make sense to me. Um, you can be upset, and that's fine for the audience, people in the audience you're following to be upset with you for not saying something. Like you have that right, sure,
Mhm.
but that's certainly not like a cancelable offense just because someone has chosen not to speak up about a certain thing. So, I don't know. The dynamics between like quote unquote influencers and the audience is I feel like it's changed over time. It's constantly evolving and I don't know. Do we all just need to be nicer with each other to
Yeah.
each other? Is that how
Yeah.
we can sum this up?
Right.
I don't know. So except when it comes to health insurance, but
Just be
that's
less
neither here nor there.
reactive. I think that would help in a lot
Yeah,
of ways.
that's the problem. That's how the algorithm is built. That's
Yeah.
how
But that's what you're saying is be less reactive.
Yeah.
Take a beat, think
Yeah.
about it. Don't just react.
Right, exactly. But the social media landscape, it like pushes you to think you have to be reactive, but you
Right.
don't.
But
So,
you don't. Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
I know that you love when I talk about the cute little mites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I thought we could take a break from that. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Yeah, because I'd like to focus on the eyelid symptoms and disease that an overgrowth of Demodex causes.
Okay. I like that idea. No mite talk.
So Demodex blepharitis, it often gets misdiagnosed or just missed entirely because a lot of symptoms overlap with other eye conditions.
Okay. So what are the top symptoms that people should look out for?
Usually itching along the eyelid margins, swelling, irritation, redness.
That sounds like it could be allergies or lots of other things
It
too.
could be a lot of things, but exactly. And the key is if your doctor spots crusties on the margin of the eyelid.
Technical term.
Well, we call them collarettes, but crusties is a good term. That tells you it's Demodex blepharitis right there.
Well, I really like that there's a clear sign to know for sure.
And once you're diagnosed, there's a prescription eye drop treatment available for this disease.
Oh, that is good to know.
To learn about the common symptoms of Demodex blepharitis and more, visit miteslovelids.com. Again, that's miteslovelids.com to learn more. This ad is brought to you by Tarsus Pharmaceuticals. Well, Kristin, I went to the very publicly went to the dentist.
You did, and
Yep.
I loved it.
It wasn't even a full cleaning though.
No, it was
It was mostly a cleaning.
a podcast.
It was a podcast. It was a podcast cleaning. I was on the Laughing My Gas Off
Yep.
podcast.
Dr. Brady Smith.
Yep, he was great. As a dentist, he works pretty close to where we live, and so went up there and had him scrape around on my teeth.
Yeah, while you were on Laughing Gas.
Even saying
the name.
yeah, that's the gimmick, right? It's a good one too. You give the guest laughing gas, and they ask me questions.
Yeah.
As he slowly turned up the nitrous oxide.
Yeah. And the questions got harder
Yeah.
the more you were. But I feel like he had I was sitting backstage with the producer, and he was kind of like, ugh. I feel like you. How do I say this lovingly? It's just you. He was first asking you just medicine questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially eyeball questions and things like that. And I guess it's just so ingrained in there at this point that it was like the laughing gas had zero effect all the way up to level 3. And there's only 5 levels.
What?
I
was
you
too
were
coherent?
you were too coherent. Yes. And then you
dang.
were talking about medical stuff, and everybody, I could feel the tension in the room was ugh, stop being so smart and say something stupid.
Oh. Hey. Maybe I'm impervious. I don't know.
They were turning it up, a little bit faster maybe than they would have just to try to get the effects.
Did I do a bad job on the podcast?
No, you didn't. It was just, you're a big boy. So it took a little while, I think,
It's true.
for the laughing gas to
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
take
Eventually
effect.
I got
but
there.
also, you could tell it was taking effect because every once in a while you'd go, whoo!
Yeah.
But you'd still just be talking about eyeballs,
Hey, that was the mistake. That was his mistake. You get me on eyeballs. I can talk about eyeballs through anything.
Exactly.
Through nitrous oxide, a hurricane, tornado. It doesn't matter what it is. I will sit there, and there could be chaos around me, and you get me going on angle closure glaucoma or whatever it was. I honestly don't remember what we discussed. Maybe that's part of it, but I'm always talking about eyeballs, so
Yeah.
all the conversations run together. But it was.
But yeah, you were too smart.
Well, what can you do? It was a fun experience, though. I showed up. We were both giant people.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Like, you never know on social media. You don't know
That's the thing. It's like
people's sizes.
that's what people say about me. Like
Yeah.
when I show up to speak at a conference or whatever, like I didn't realize you were this tall. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, because you only see me
Right.
like above the waist. You know, really.
If that
It's
even.
like chest high.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it is still remarkable, not just, the social media component, but you do not run into many people out in the world who are as tall as you. Because you're 6'4". Like, that is extremely tall for a non-NBA player.
Yeah.
Like, and he was even maybe a little bit taller than you.
He might have been.
Like half an inch or
It was,
so. I don't know.
It was a bit unsettling to have to like
Yeah,
slightly look
how
up
was
at
that?
someone's eyes. As I'm not used to that.
Or even looking like straight at people when you're standing up.
I mean, most of my time is spent around my family, and
Yes, and we're tiny
you guys
hobbits.
are all little tiny people. So anyway, it was different. It was fun. And he said my teeth looked fine. So
That's good.
never had a cavity.
I know, that's
0 cavities. As someone who is terrified of the dentist, I have 0 cavities.
Have you always been terrified of the dentist, even as a kid?
I've never enjoyed it. No.
But like, did your teeth hurt as much when you were a kid?
I don't know really, but there was like a good 4 or 5 year period where I just did not go to the dentist, and I had gotten my braces off, and after that I went off to college. Never went to the dentist in college.
I remember.
At all. It wasn't until I got to med school, finally went to the dentist for the first time. And that was the first time since my braces came off as a senior in high school. And they worked my teeth over like you would not believe.
5 years of plaque on there.
I had but also just like, I guess the sometimes residual stuff from the braces, like the like cement or something. I guess they don't get all that stuff off maybe whenever they take them off, but so it was like a solid 2-hour cleaning.
Oh my gosh.
And so I went to that. I had that done. I was like, well, I'm never going back. This
is not the lesson to take from that.
It
shouldn't have been that long
This
between.
is the worst experience of my life. Like I'm not in the habit of comparing things to childbirth.
Okay, watch out.
Not gonna do it.
No.
I'm not gonna go there.
You're doing it.
I'm not
you
gonna,
are,
no,
though.
I'm not doing it.
By bringing it up.
Hey, I'm not going there. But it
Nope.
was
Nope.
okay. Nope, not gonna do it.
No.
All right.
Nope.
Now I am more diligent about
Yeah.
making sure I,
You still
take care
don't
of-
go to the dentist.
But I floss the hell out of my teeth. I do the mouthwash. I'm getting it done. I will say I did not brush my teeth before starting this podcast. So apologies to you sitting close to me. It's all right. My breath isn't usually that bad. Okay. Let's, what do you want to do? Should we do a random topic?
Yeah, teach me something.
You want to learn a little thing? Okay. All right. So let's do it. Let's, why don't you give me a random number? So I've got my first aid, USMLE, Step 1, 2025 book. Everything a doctor needs to know about to pass their board exam is in this book. All right. So you're going to become a doctor one way or the other. All right. So pick a page between 32 and 706.
365.
365. All right. We got Gastroschisis versus Omphalocele. Oh, I haven't even said those words in a long time. Gastroschisis versus Omphalocele. By the way, I just did a skit. I just posted it not too long ago of one of these random selection topics on the neuron action potential.
Hey.
Remember anything about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't quiz me on the spot. My mind will just immediately empty itself.
I talked about voltage-gated sodium channels.
Wow, that is
potassium channels.
Into it. Yeah.
You get depolarization, featuring Phil, the resident.
Nice.
In the skit, and then repolarization, hyperpolarization, and believe it or not, I know that sounds incredibly boring. People liked it. I don't know.
Because brains are interesting.
I really think most of it is like the beginning. This is also a before we get to our topic here, and maybe we'll probably take a break before we jump into it. But like people ask me how to make engaging content.
Yeah.
Like how do you do this? Man, there's so much of it is just the hook.
The hook, yeah.
You gotta have the hook. And I stumbled into the hook. When I first started content, like the hook was knock knock. Hi, I'm the new med student.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, what the hell is this going on? This med student, where's he at? Who's he talking to? And it was like first day of whatever rotation, and then people would draw people in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these videos I'm doing, it's like teaching you randomly selecting medical topics. Well, that's not how you learn medicine.
Right.
What the hell are you doing?
The format
Doctor
is a
guy?
hook.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's like a big part of it. Otherwise, people are just gonna scroll by. Like,
Yeah.
social
You've
media.
got like, I don't know, half a second.
Social media
to keep
is
people
a
from scrolling.
wasteland of scrolling,
Yeah.
and if you don't get their attention quick, you're not going to last. That and lighting, I learned.
Yeah.
Gotta
You
have
do
good
need
lighting.
to be.
I had some horrible lighting
Mhm.
when I first started. I figured out lighting is a big part of it. Okay. So have you heard these terms, gastroschisis
No.
and omphalocele?
Nope.
These are what are called ventral wall defects.
Okay.
Ventral wall defects. So
What area are we in here?
we are in GI world right now.
Okay.
Gastrointestinal. Okay.
Okay. But
So-
specifically embryology, it looks like?
Well, yeah, it's the embryology section of
Yeah.
gas. So we're talking, how the GI tract develops.
Okay.
All right. So ventral wall defects are developmental defects due to the failure of this embryonic layer to close. Basically, we're not going to get too far into the weeds of embryology because I don't remember it. But at some point, you have a fold that like closes in the front of you
Mm-hmm.
that creates the abdominal wall.
Okay.
All right. And so you get defects in closure. Imagine you got to zipper up your entire, like from belly button
Mhm.
all the way up to
Throat.
your throat. All right. You got to zip that thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it doesn't zip up quite right, you end up with these ventral wall defects. So the ventral
Mm-hmm.
is
Your front.
your belly, it's your front.
Yep.
Dorsal is your back.
Yep.
Caudal is your butt.
Mm-hmm. Can you remember this?
What's the top?
Coronal?
Cor-
No.
Well, oh my God.
What is
There's
the top?
ventral, dorsal, caudal,
Oh, this
cap-
is embarrassing for both
capital.
of us.
the cap, your hat, your head hat, your top. Oh man, that's gonna come to me.
Okay, I'm gonna Google while you're talking.
It's gonna come to me. All right. And so anyway, so you have the failure of closure of the ventral wall, and that can lead to lots of different things. So
Rostral.
rostral. God, that's it. Your rostrum.
Oh, we should
I'm
both
so
know
glad we
that.
got that. I'm so glad we came to that. So whenever you talk about, like, here's an example. If the defect is higher up in your
Mhm.
sternum,
Yeah.
then you can get ectopia cordis, where like the
Ectopia,
things,
so it's not where it should be.
right? And cordis
Cordis.
is heart.
Okay.
So your heart is like outside your body.
Ew, that's
Right.
not
Yeah,
where
that
you
kind
want
of thing
it.
happens. And you can get it same thing for like the bladder. If it doesn't,
Mhm.
the front doesn't, your ventral wall doesn't close, and things can just be outside your body and they're not
Right.
supposed to be. All right. So there's two different GI tract related things that can happen with ventral wall defects. There's gastroschisis and there's omphalocele. Let's take a break real quick.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into those two things.
Okay.
All right, gastroschisis. This is a para-umbilical herniation. So
Okay.
the herniation happens right next to the umbilicus, which is
Mhm.
your
Belly button.
belly button.
It's your belly button.
And it's right underneath my sweater. It's my belly button. And it's holding me together. 1, 2, well, did you know that a zipper will not do? Neither will snap nor safety pin, so let's sing the belly button song again. Okay. So paraumbilical herniation of abdominal contents through the abdominal wall defect.
Mhm.
We're not going to explain to people why we
What
just
just
did
happened?
that. They're just going to have to figure that out on their own. All right. So, and what separates gastroschisis from its partner here, omphalocele, is that when the GI tract is outside the body, it's not covered by the peritoneum.
Okay,
Which
because that's inside the body.
It's still inside the
How
body.
come the peritoneum does not also protrude outside the body?
I do not know.
Okay.
I do not know. But because the peritoneum is not also outside the body, I think it's easier to fix. So it's a surgery. You can just shove it,
Stick it back in
stick it
there.
right back in there and close the opening.
Okay.
All right. And so gastroschisis has a better prognosis.
Mhm.
And it's also not associated with chromosomal abnormalities.
Okay.
Okay. So it's just kind of like a sporadic,
Like a random oopsie.
random oopsie, and then you just put all the stuff back in, close it up.
Okay.
Omphalocele, that is herniation of abdominal contents through the umbilical ring. So literally through your belly button versus just like a gap in the wall close to your belly button.
Yeah.
This goes like through your belly button. And that is the entire GI peritoneal contents. So it's your GI tract.
So the peritoneum does come out
and it's covering all it's like a sack. It looks like a sack.
For some reason, it can do that through the belly button, but not right next to the belly button.
And that portends a much worse prognosis, I think, in part because usually it's associated with congenital anomalies, like different types of really severe trisomies, which is when you have 3 of a particular chromosome. Usually only have 2.
Correct.
And then other structural abnormalities are often associated with this omphalocele. So omphalocele, worse prognosis, more congenital anomalies versus gastroschisis, just a little sporadic oopsie.
How come you can't just poke it back in the belly button, just like you did with the gastroschisis?
Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't know. This page that you selected does not go into how you repair these things.
Why not?
I think that would probably be a little bit more outside my area of expertise and what you would need to know
Someone tell me
to pass your licensing exam.
If we have any GI docs in the comments, please tell me because I want to know.
Yeah, tell us what we got wrong here. I'm just looking at. I'm using this as a reference material, first aid. But the pictures are very interesting. You can see the difference is, one has everything that has extruded, that has not gone into the body because there's a defect, covered in this amniotic sac looking thing. The peritoneum, the other one's not covered. So anyway.
Right. It's just guts.
That's right. So do you think you could probably answer a question about that now if you got quizzed on it?
Some of the questions that
You're
could be
slowly,
asked.
there's only 700 pages here.
I'm going to be an expert by the end.
I think we can. If we do this every single time.
It'll be 4 years, just like med school.
Eventually you'll get it. All right. Should we wrap up with a couple of other just comments, see what people are talking about with our prior episodes? So we did the Buzzfeed quiz recently. Remember that?
Yeah, that's kind
of fun. A few weeks back.
A
lot of people got it. Someone said, let's see, at Gary J. Cat said, I'm a Hufflepuff and got radiology.
That's an interesting combination because Hufflepuff are like the social, extroverted Hogwarts house, right? And then radiology you typically associate with not having to see people.
Yeah, is that right? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Hufflepuff, yeah, you're right. That doesn't quite.
Yeah,
it would be astonishing to me if BuzzFeed did not quite know how to put people into their medicine house accurately. I think that'd be surprising.
I think
for
radiology. This we could do it the other way around. What would every specialty's Hogwarts house be? And I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say radiology would be Slytherin.
What?
I'm going to anger some people.
Okay, yeah, your radiologist might not be happy with you about it, but it's fine. I mean, we have a daughter who's a Slytherin.
Yeah, Slytherin is a valid Hogwarts house.
All these things are just made up. Anyway, at Laura Geddish 8232 said, surprisingly accurate BuzzFeed quiz. Got orthopedic surgery, which is what I trained in.
Hey.
So, you know what? Broken clock is right twice a day. All right, here's a question at Emily Bouchard 5594 said, here's a question for you. In the healthcare field as a whole, what other profession would you do?
Oh.
And you can't pick your own. Pharmacist, nurse, respiratory tech. For example, I'm a nurse and I think I would be a medical examiner. So this is interesting. I've never got this question where it's not like what other specialty would you choose?
Yeah.
But I couldn't be a physician.
Right.
What would I be?
What would you be? It'd have to be something that's still pretty, like...
I think I would... Okay, here... I think I would... Well, looking at these examples, I don't think I'd be a good nurse.
Nope.
Pharmacist...
Maybe, but you didn't like OChem.
Possibly. I was not a big fan of chemistry. Respiratory tech, too many secretions. I think I would be like a lab tech. Like I'd like work in the lab.
I could see that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
like the hardcore like math and science that you work out on paper and
exactly.
stuff.
And I worked in a lab, like a basic science lab. I was doing like PCRs and like gene sequencing and stuff. And it was like I did it for like 2 years.
Yeah,
and it was fine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say I'd be terribly excited, but it was something that I could do as a job for a while. Mm-hmm. So that's probably what I would choose.
Yeah. What do you think would be a good fit for me?
Ooh.
Had I gone into healthcare? And to be clear, while you think, I did not go into healthcare because bodies are icky.
Oh, I guess a psychiatrist.
Well, that's too easy.
Well, that's the point.
That's too close to what I already trained in.
I mean, of course. Let's see. So I can't do that, but you don't want to do like blood and guts.
Yeah, it does really limit the options.
It does. It does. You can't do eyeballs. Can't do eyeballs. So I wouldn't do like nothing surgical.
I wouldn't want to have to
I would say maybe
dissect a dead body.
Pediatrician.
Maybe, but that's real gross too.
There's lots of snot.
There's some real gross stuff.
Yeah, let's just talk about diarrhea and stuff.
I had a hard enough time doing that with just my own kids.
If you don't like dirty jobs, like radiology, I guess.
Yeah, I could do that.
That's maybe probably.
I do like my alone time.
There you go. Radiology, future possible radiologist. No, you can't. Don't go to med school.
No, that wasn't for me.
That's we don't need that kind of loan burden.
No.
At this point. All right. That's it.
We did it.
We did it. Let us know if you have any. Well, first of all, let us know if we just totally screwed up that GI topic. But if you have any other suggestions on things you want us to talk about, let us know. You can email us knockknockhi@human-content.com. Visit us and our Human Content Podcast family on Instagram and TikTok @HumanContentPods. Thanks to all the great listeners leaving feedback and reviews. If you subscribe and comment on your favorite podcasting app, we're on YouTube. And give it a shout out. We gave some shout outs today.
We did.
Going through some questions.
I love the YouTube comments. We read those. So definitely leave some comments.
We also have full video episodes are up every week on our YouTube channel @Glaucomfleckens. We also have a Patreon. Tons of cool perks, bonus episodes, react to medical shows and movies, hang out with other members of the Knock Knock Hi community. We're there. We're active in it. Early ad-free episode access. Q&A live stream events, much more. Patreon.com/Glaucomflecken or go to glaucomflecken.com. One thing we've been doing on Patreon is reacting to my videos.
Yes, behind the screens.
Behind the screens, yeah. I play a video, one of my videos to the Patreon folks, and we just talk about like the idea behind it, why I decided to dress up that way, all those things.
Right.
Speaking of Patreon community perks, new member shout out to Jess K. Thank you for joining. And thank you for shout out to the Jonathans as usual: Patrick, Lucia C, Edward K, Marion W, Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C, Brianna L, MP Cole, Mary H, Keith G, Parker, Muhammad L, David H, Kaylee A, Gabe, Gary M, Eric B, Marlene S, Scott M, Kelsey M, Dr. Hoover, Sean M, Ryan N, Jess K, Hawkeye MD, Bubbly Salt, and Shawnee D. Patreon roulette time. Random shout to someone on the emergency medicine tier. Shout out to Poke Dude 14 for being a patron. Thanks, Poke Dude.
Is it poke or pokey? Like Pokemon.
Pokey Dude.
Poke Dude.
Who knows? Maybe he'll let us know. Thanks for listening. We're your hosts, Will and Kristin Flannery, also known as the Glauc. Our executive producers are Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brick, and Will Flannery and Kristin Flannery. Whenever I do Knock Knock I episodes, I don't include myself. I screwed that up. Editor and engineer Jason Portiz. Our music is by Omer Benzvi. To learn about Knock Knock Hi's program disclaimer, ethics policy, submission verification, licensing terms, HIPAA release terms, go to glaucandflecken.com or reach out to us, knockknockhi@human-content.com with questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. Knock Knock Hi is a human content production.
Knock, knock, goodbye.
Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
You know one thing I just can't stop thinking about and talking about?
What?
Microsoft Dragon Copilot.
Yeah, you really love it.
I do. I love it. I love things that just make being a clinician easier.
Mm-hmm. Who
Right?
doesn't?
To help you be able to focus on your patients
Yeah.
more, streamline the workflow that you have to do, all the administrative tasks.
Yeah, get back to the stuff you like to do.
But you know what? It's not even all of that. That's great. All that stuff is good.
Yeah.
But it's also bringing information to the front of your mind, being able to what's called surfacing information.
Yes,
Really. So
right.
it's you
All
want to
that
know
stuff that's rusty back there.
Yeah, you want to know medication interactions,
Yeah.
if two medications interact with each other before you order one. Well, Microsoft Dragon Copilot can help you find that information more quickly. You can look up ICD-10 codes. I don't know
that's
if you know what
handy.
those are.
I do.
But it's really helpful to be able
Yeah,
to
'cause
know
those are
that,
really annoying to deal with.
but they're important.
Yes.
Right? You got to know them. And just all these just simple requests,
Yeah.
looking at family history, all this stuff. It's just fantastic. It makes your life so much easier. To learn more about Microsoft Dragon Copilot, visit aka.ms/knockknockhi. That's aka.ms/knockknockhi. Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.